The project is called If I'm Not Home. It's a full-length documentary about a Chicago jazz musician named Ron Cooper. The project features musicians Pete Crawford, Brian O'Hearn, Mike Alimana, Von Freeman, Fareed Haq, Kimberly Gordon, John Rotan, Tom Allen, Lou Marini, Joni Pilato, and bar and club owners Dave Gemolo, Ken Strandberg, and Earl Johnson. Describing this movie in 3 words, I would say Chicago, real, authentic, dirty. One Thanksgiving, he and I went to a very expensive place because it was the only one that was open on Thanksgiving, and there was nothing even close to traditional Thanksgiving food on the menu. So we had the closest thing, which was like a bass stuffed quail with a truffle sauce. And Ron started to choke on his food, and everyone, even before that, was looking at us like, what's their story? This is bizarre. And it was kind of a snooty place. And Ron started to choke on his food. People started to get up, ready to give him the Heimlich, and then he coughed up in his hand this giant thing of quail bass. And then in a loud voice, so that everyone can hear, he said, "Can anyone recommend what I can do with the contents of my hand?" And the woman next to us handed him her napkin. The first time I met Ron, I was at a bar with a friend of mine, Matt Wiley. He and I were talking about jazz, and someone tapped me on the shoulder, and the guy said, "I am a jazz vocalist." And I said, "Great." And then I continued talking with my friend Matt. He tapped me on the shoulder again and said, "Follow me," and he went into the bathroom of this bar, Quenchers, and I'm up for adventure usually, so I went with him. And I remember Matt, my friend, was shaking his head like, "I might not ever see you again." So I was in the bathroom, and Ron, whose posture is very hunched over and very closed up, in the bathroom, he just completely blossomed and belted out a Frank Sinatra song. I was blown away, and I said, "Where are you performing next? What's your story? That's incredible. I'd love to see you perform." And he kind of chuckled and said, "That's a long story." I said, "Can I come back with a camera, my video camera, and hang out with you and ask you some questions?" And he said, "If you buy lunch." The question I wanted to find out, and I think most people want to find out when they start watching the movie, is how can a person that talented and that creative and that driven and that passionate be homeless? The budget for this movie was basically food for Ron and some medicine, fillings, a prescription for him, and tapes. I probably filled 25 to 30 tapes. So I would say the budget for this was maybe $3,000. And he was so gracious that when he did get money, I would also burn CDs for him. I would buy CDs, blank CDs, and then the CDs he had recorded, I would duplicate, and then he would sell those for $10 a piece. And when he did have money from selling those, he would buy me dinner. And he was very proud to do that. Ron said he had always wanted to sing in New York City, so we had a benefit for him, and it was at the Lakeshore Theater. And after paying the musicians and the Lakeshore, who ripped me off for the lighting and the sound guy, I ended up losing $400. So then we had another benefit for him a few months after that, and we raised $800. And this was in 2007. And we were going to go to New York on that $800, and then he passed away. So it turned out that the headstone at Homewood Memorial Gardens was $800. So the money we raised at that benefit went toward his headstone. The movie is premiering at the Gene Siskel Film Center on February 26th at 8 p.m. and there's a second showing on the 28th. at 8 p.m.